Curious Directive is a production company that came together in a muddy campsite, and their new play, The Kindness of Strangers, is one of the many performances you can catch at the festival this month. Russell Woodhead is the co-writer. Now, Russell, I'm going to be asking you all the same question, which is a variation of, so what is this show?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's quite a question for us because I think it's quite unusual and something that a lot of people haven't heard of or seen before. But essentially, the show is about two paramedics, one of whom is very experienced and on her last shift ever, and one who's brand new to the job and terrified of the thought of real patients. And the whole thing takes place over the course of a single 12-hour night shift in the back of a genuine moving ambulance. So 5 audience members in the back of an ambulance roaming around Watford, arriving at various locations.
How are we actually going to be able to watch this, though? Because if the ambulance is roaming, are we going to have to follow it?
Absolutely not. You'll be in the thick of it. So those 5 audience members will be strapped in alongside Lisa, the lead paramedic, and witnessing everything as it unfolds.
So actually, it's the most exclusive show in town, because if you're not one of those 5 people, you're not going to be able to watch it.
I'm afraid that's the case, but we do 5 shows every day in Watford. So,
what a brilliant idea.
Yeah, over the course of a few days, so plenty of opportunities.
It's not as if you don't have a history of using weird and wonderful scenes and sights for your act, is it?
No, that's certainly the case. And last year at Imagine Watford, we were out and about on the streets doing a show called And We Will Play Again. So if you saw people playing dice games in the middle of a large matrix of squares full of crazy things, that was us. You
came together in quite interesting circumstances, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. So the company started at Warwick University, and when you say muddy campsite, I imagine that's a reference to the various festivals that have been taking place all over, as is the case with a lot of young companies. We spend a lot of time in muddy campsites during the summer, and over the course of a few years, more and more people have joined, and I was lucky enough to jump on board in 2011 for a show at the Edinburgh Festival.
Why street theatre, though? What is it that motivates you so much, bearing in mind that, you know, traditionally we've got our beautiful spaces, our beautiful theatres? What is it that you enjoy about being potentially under a very dark rain cloud? This is England we're talking about here, being covered in rain with people with umbrellas up.
Yeah, well, we've cheated the street theatre thing slightly in that we do have a roof over our heads this time.
This is true, yeah. But it's an open roof. It's an open side to the roof.
It's an open, big back doors. But we're excited to be on the streets because we hope that it brings people to the theatre that maybe wouldn't consider that it was for them normally. And also because if you tour a show in the usual way, you go to a theatre, it might be a beautiful, lovely theatre with different people watching, but it's the same show wherever you go. Whereas with The Kindness of Strangers, our show, it really becomes about the city or the town that we're visiting in every location.
And of course, you don't have the fourth wall between you and the audience. You can literally eyeball them. You can see how they're responding. Do you modify the show? Based on the reaction of the people that are in your ambulance?
Yeah, I think that's certainly the case, especially with such a small audience. We're lucky enough to have 2 wonderful actresses, Emily Lloyd-Saney and Fiona Drummond, taking the leads in this, and it's it's a very skilled job that they have because they are talking directly just a few feet away from the audience, some of whom may be reacting in very different ways depending on their reaction to the subject matter at that moment. And it's a great task for them to make the audience trust them and believe in them over the course of that hour.
The hardest thing for them must be to remember that they are actually in a performance, because if it was me being Emily and her fellow actress, I'd be tempted to just chat to the audience and maybe turn to my fellow. I'd lose that sense that I was, in inverted commas, well, actually not even in inverted commas, on stage.
I think that's true. I mean, they are in full costume as a paramedic. They're surrounded by all the paraphernalia, and they have a lot to do simply to stand up as the ambulance swings around roundabouts while trying to remember their lines and do the acting as well. So I agree, yeah, it's certainly a skilled performance from them.
Sounds wonderful. Now, you're starting on the 24th, is that right? 24th of June.
That's right.
And you run through to the Saturday, so that's 5 whole days, and it's 5 shows a day, so 25 shows in total.
That's correct.
Where can we jump on the ambulance? Do we need to pre-book tickets, or is it first come, first served?
You do need to pre-book tickets, yeah, I would highly advise it.
And if you want to pre-book tickets, www.imaginewatford.co.uk is the website. And if anybody wants to find out more about your wonderful Curious Directive, where can they do that?
They can do that on the Watford Palace Theatre website, or they can do it at our website. So if you just Google Curious Directive, then you'll find us.
I can tell you that it's www.curiousdirective.com is your website, and tickets are available as well at the Watford Palace Theatre. I think it sounds brilliant. I'm going to try and get myself on your ambulance. I wish you all the best with your upcoming performances.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
There's Russell Woodhead. Now, his production is called The Kindness of Strangers. We've got 2 more to work our way through as we look ahead to the brilliant Imagine Festival in Watford.